Yellowstone National Park. This massive volcano in the western United States is like a ticking time bomb that we cannot control. He is a sleeping giant on Earth, although there are occasional small movements. But he's been asleep for almost 70,000 years. Once he wakes up, he could explode with unprecedented force. This supervolcano lies beneath Yellowstone National Park. The park spans Wyoming, Ida River in Montana. The main body of the volcano is located in northwestern Wyoming. Volcano Home points out, in the event of an eruption, there may be classified volcanic ash covering the entire area. The gases released at the same time could also be spread all over the world, block the sun, and bring down global temperatures significantly within a few years. It is worth noting that Yellowstone National Park is one of the 6 supervolcanoes on Earth. An extreme eruption occurs about once every 650,000. The last major eruption was 650,000 years ago. The issue that poses the greatest threat to life on Earth is the current climate crisis, potential nuclear war, and the potential for rapid population decline through the indefinite spread of organisms is undoubtedly the main consideration, but not all existential threats are man-made. Some of them are beyond our control. Asteroids that approach Earth regularly remind us the catastrophic event that led to the extinction of the dinosaurs 66 million years ago could happen again. However, people are interested in walking around the world. Supervolcanoes that could erupt at any moment and threaten our very existence are not getting enough attention. In fact, there have been situations in Earth's history where volcanic activity threatened human existence. About 70,000 years ago, supervolcanic eruption under Lake Toba released 2,800 cubic kilometers of ash and dust, causing the Earth's climate to become almost uninhabitable at the time of the global sharp population decline. This could also be one of the reasons why we play the game of genetic diversity. Although today humans have greatly increased in number and spread widely, an eruption of this magnitude is unlikely to cause human extinction, but he will definitely change the way we live. There are many volcanoes around the world that could trigger doomsday scenarios, including Mount Vesuvius, Erupted volcano in Alaska, Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, Mount Agung and Mount Merapi in Indonesia, Mount Nyiragongo in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. But only 6 are classified as supervolcanoes. Their eruptions could completely change the landscape for hundreds of kilometers and have a long-term impact on the global climate. Supervolcanoes usually form in areas where large amounts of magma rise from vines to the surface, such as hotspots or subduction zones. Magma is trapped in the Earth's crust and accumulates. Globally, we've identified 6 active supervolcanoes that are potentially dangerous in Park Royale in the United States. Long Valley Crater in California, Lake Taupo in New Zealand, Toba Tiger on the Indonesian island of Sumatra, La Pacana Crater in Chile and Campifregre in Italy. People usually think of supervolcanoes as massive volcanic structures. Its eruption has the potential to push our species to the brink of extinction. However, over time, due to the news, the influence of literature and film, the public's understanding of a supervolcano has diverged from its scientific definition. From the late 1990s to hard work, the term supervolcano gradually evolved, the defining history of scientific community alignment, a place that has undergone at least one major event in its entire history. Volcanoes with an eruption index of 8 or higher depending on the size and intensity of the volcanic eruption. In particular, the total volume of the erupting pyroclastic material and the height of the erupting bamboo are divided. The taste scale is for resins ranging from 0 to 8 grades above. Each additional level indicates an increase in the intensity of the eruption by approximately 10 times. This is similar to the magnitude used to measure earthquake strength. At the highest end of the micrometer, eruptions of magnitude 8 or higher can release more than 1,000 cubic kilometers of material. Such eruptions are called supereruptions. It is also the standard for defining so-called supervolcanoes. Such eruptions can significantly alter the landscape and affect the global climate over a long period of time. In addition, the release of huge amounts of magma and the emptying of magma chambers usually causes the surface to collapse, including the volcano itself, forming a large circular depression, become a caldera. Therefore, the term supervolcano has nothing to do with the physical size of the volcano. It has to do with the size of its historical eruptions. It is known that over the past 36 million years, there have been only 42 supervolcanic eruptions on Earth. Modern humans have not directly experienced any of these events. The most recent of these is the Taupo volcano in New Zealand. Happened approximately 26,500 years ago. In comparison, the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines in 1991 was one of the largest in the 20th century. Its micro-level positive is level 6. This means that its eruption is at least 100 times more powerful than a supervolcano eruption. Today's most famous supervolcano, Yellowstone Park, is not only the most famous in the world, one of the most popular national parks, it is also located in the northwest of the United States, across Wyoming, Montana, and River Ida. Millions of tourists visit every year. Admire its geysers, hot spring waterfall, canyon lake, rivers, and a rich diversity of wildlife. But in this picturesque natural beauty, hidden an unimaginable threat. A supervolcano that could erupt at any time. His activities could have catastrophic and resilient consequences for the entire planet. Volcanic activity in this area dates back to hotspots more than 1650 million years ago. The original eruption center was located between what is now Nevada and Oregon. In the modern geological period, the activity in the Yellowstone supervolcanic zone has created 3 large calderas. The first and most powerful supereruption under Yellowstone occurred 2.10 million years ago. This eruption released a large amount of magma from the underground magma chamber, causing the ground above to collapse, formed a huge depression. It's almost bigger than Rhode Island. It is estimated that this massive crater is 80 kilometers long, 65 kilometers wide, hundreds of meters deep. Due to the movement of the Earth's plates, the activities along the river were later moved to the Dongpu Island Park area in Ada River State, southwest of Yellowstone National Park. And another massive eruption 1.30 million years ago created a new crater. Since then, activities have mainly been concentrated in the national park area. The last major eruption took place 631,000 years ago, formed the Yellowstone crater as it is built today. These 3 supereruptions were each 6,000 times more powerful than the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens, 700 times and 2,500 times. They released enough ash and lava to fill a Grand Canyon. Except for these 3 major eruptions, activity associated with the 3 caldera cycles also included dozens or even hundreds of smaller eruptions. the lava and pyroclastic material produced simultaneously by these eruptions. If a similar eruption were to occur in Yellowstone Park today, Colorado, entire areas of Wyoming and Utah could be buried under volcanic ash about a meter away. According to weather patterns, much of the American Midwest will also experience a few centimeters of volcanic descent. The whole area will be plunged into darkness. Even coastal areas can be affected by the spread of volcanic ash. Such an eruption would destroy crops, polluted pasture, damaged power line. This could lead to massive grid failures. Volcanic eruptions can also trigger a series of stabbing disasters: earthquakes, landslides, floods, and tsunamis. The sweater in the Earth's crust causes vibrations, trigger landslides, burying an entire area or blocking a tunnel. The melting of glaciers and snow can cause floods, rising river and lake levels. Dragon rock or debris falling into the ocean can cause tsunamis, generate huge waves, spread to the coasts of other continents, cause wider damage and casualties. Simulation prediction display. 25 million people could die in the first week alone. 80% of the United States is covered in volcanic ash. 20% became uninhabitable. Sulfur and dust in the atmosphere could cause global temperatures to drop by 5 to 15 degrees Celsius. Hinder the Asian gale. Millions died of starvation. The sharp decrease in precipitation could lead to the death of tropical rainforests. The victims of this apocalypse may reach 10% of the global population. A few 750 million. This is more than 10 times the number of people killed in World War II. Become a disaster on a scale completely different from any natural or human disaster. In addition, recent new measurements of the size of the crater beneath Yellowstone have dramatically changed our understanding of alignment. Although it was previously thought that there were several disconnected caldera, but a new study by researchers at his university shows that there's actually a huge caldera below the park. He has many branches. It's like a single giant magma chamber. By analyzing newly collected data, the researchers found that the size of the crater is about 50% larger than previously estimated. The length is 60 kilometers. The width is 30 kilometers. The crater floor is located at a depth of 5 to 12 kilometers below the surface. This new finding has once again aroused the fears of doomsayers. Since 2012, the debate about the end of the world has never subsided. At that time, a doomsday scene from a movie of the same name was dramatized to the public. Yellowstone crater experienced 3 super eruptions about 650,000 years apart. Son, it's been about 650,000 years since the last eruption. It seems to send us a warning. However, is there a real danger of recurrence? Can we predict when the next eruption will occur? And the simple answer is this, and the answer is not. Although volcanic activity is a complex and unpredictable natural phenomenon, beyond human control. But we can use advances in scientific knowledge and technology to predict and monitor to some extent. Continuous volcano monitoring is essential for predicting potential eruptions, seismic activity, ground deformation, temperature change, changes in the characteristics of geothermal fluids. Volcanic gas emissions are extremely variable, as are changes in magnetic fields. Can provide us with important clues about the status of Yanjiang City and the possibility of an eruption. Although these signals can provide valuable information, but they are not always unambiguous, and it may be influenced by a variety of factors. As the weather changes, precipitation, landslides, and human activities, even if an increase in volcanic activity is detected, determining the misinterpretation time of the eruption, the loss of time and direction remains challenging. This takes into account the annual pressure of the magma, temperature and distribution, and the shape of the Earth's crust, the interaction of faults and plate tectonics and atmospheric conditions. Although monitoring technology is increasingly advanced, the prediction of volcanic eruptions remains a complex and uncertain issue. However, according to experts from the U.S. Geological Survey, large eruptions like those of the royal family in the past are highly unlikely to occur in the short term. Future eruptions may primarily involve the release of steam and hot water, rather than lava or lava flows. Experts also estimate that, Royal Park every year, the probability of an outbreak has been reduced to 0.0%. The first time hell was held by the police. Probability in a 400-meter asteroid machine, therefore unless ground deformation occurs. Significant changes in hot night characteristics or gas emissions. Otherwise, one should not be overly concerned about an impending eruption. Even so, although Royal Park is one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world, this doesn't mean that we are in imminent danger. Eruptions could take hundreds of years. It won't happen for thousands of years or more. Currently, although our technology was able to detect the early signs of an eruption, but we cannot fully control or prevent the eruption of a supervolcano. All we can do is minimize the damage. In the face of such natural forces, humans may be able to change the orbit of asteroids, but the ability to stop supervolcanoes is beyond our reach.